that's not the right song. No. Manamana. Manamana.
Manamana. Manamana.
Yeah, that one.
Yes. Manamana.
Manamana. What's up, James?
Not too much, man. How you doing?
Manamana.
Manamana.
How's life?
Life's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good to hear.
I don't like this here, though.
You don't?
Probably not.
All right.
I mean,
my phone's blinking, so I'm just gonna
our temperature is
check to see why it's blinking.
Is well. How was your week, dude?
Oh, hey, I've been tagged in a post.
My
My week has been you know, I worked, I slept, and I woke up and went to work a couple of times.
Nice.
Went to the gym. Yeah, you know, did stuff.
I went to a gym once. Did I ever tell you?
Once? Describe to a gym.
I went
walking past it. You went to the door and then turned around.
No, I worked at one. I worked at one for a couple of months, and I went to the gym a couple of times. Like I didn't do anything there. I just kind of like went up there because it was overlooking the basketball court. It was at the JCC in Kansas City, so it overlooked the basketball court. So I'd go up there, and it was nice to just hang around.
So you worked at a gym or you worked at the community center?
I worked at the gym part of the community center.
I see.
It was big. There were a lot of other services that they offered. Adult learning classes, and there was
what did you
Federation,
do at the gym?
there was the cafe.
I know you weren't a trainer.
Yeah, I worked at
I
the
could
front.
see you. I could see you as the guy that
I worked
at the dirty towels.
I think I was supposed to, but I didn't. I didn't like that.
Glad I wasn't a member of your gym.
I did that. I did that for again like a month or two, and got tired of it. It wasn't rewarding.
No, you expected so much more out of a job where your job was to pick up dirty towels out of a locker room.
Well, it was really front desk, but every so often they wanted me to go and pick up dirty towels.
What was your job duties as a front desk person? Watch people swipe their card and hand them towels?
And answer the phones.
Answer the phone. Okay.
Played solitaire. I played some solitaire. I did homework because I was in school at the time.
It sounds like a good job.
No, it wasn't.
No?
No. I didn't enjoy it.
Huh. You didn't enjoy getting paid to do your homework and sitting around playing solitaire?
I wasn't supposed to do either of those things. Those weren't part of the job.
But you did them anyway.
Yeah.
I see. Did you quit after a month?
We parted ways.
We parted ways.
we parted ways amicably.
I see. So it was a mutual agreement that you should no longer come to work in this place. You agreed not to show up, and they agreed not to pay you?
Listen, they would have seen it at the beginning. Like, this guy is not the right person for this position. They could have been honest with me. But they strung me along also.
They could have been honest with you. What did they tell you? That the job was going to be full of exciting, fun, and adventure? What did you expect was going to be the...
Exciting, fun, and adventure would only appeal to me if that's what I was actually looking for.
Well, what were you looking
just looking for
out of the job at a front desk for a gym?
Not picking up towels. That was not one of the things that I was interested in.
I see.
Yeah, I think there were other things that I could have done with my life. So, I did other things with my life.
Well, what did you do instead with your life?
I think I went to work at Sam's Club. I think that was after the JCC.
What did you do at Sam's Club?
I worked in the. I was stalking in the. I was stalking.
You were a Sam's Club stalker
in the refrigerator freezer department. That was actually a lot of fun working in the fridges, like in the summer. was nice.
Is that a pun? You said it was cool to work in the freezers in the summer.
Yes, I did. I did.
Was that punny?
Um,
I worked at a chicken restaurant, and we used to go hang out in in the walk-ins because the restaurant had the back of the restaurant, the kitchen had no air conditioning, so we would just stand around the walk-in, smoke some cigarettes.
no, this was full on indoors. No, you don't need to read that. No, it was indoors. So it was
Most fridges are indoors. Most Sam's Clubs are indoors.
yes, this is true.
Mm.
But there are many walk-in coolers that are outdoors, like at a lot of fast food restaurants. They have to go outside to go to the walk-in cooler.
Never seen that.
I've seen it a few places, a few plimes, a few tastes.
Interesting.
But yep. What else is new?
Newborns.
True.
They are new.
This is true. I wonder if that comic that I showed you with the one that looks like this, if it
this.
if it updates, because okay, it shows it's like a GIF that just shows every so often there's a birth, there's a death, there's a kid getting his haircut, whatever it is, just any number of these different grayed out options fills in, as it seems to happen. But as the population grows, all of these things happen more and more often. Somebody is born more often. I wonder if it's just a GIF or if it's
a GIF.
Actually, the creator calls it GIF, so I don't know. It feels weird to call it a GIF because I always had called it GIF. But just to appease the old guy, listen, he's an old guy. You don't want to argue with him. Let him have his way. Just give him that win. GIF. And his time will come sometime, and then we can go back to calling it GIF.
I see what you're saying. Wait till the old guy dies.
Respect his honor, and then he dies, and then it's his memory where GIF or GIF we're still respecting this. Yeah, GIF is a peanut butter. But yeah, I don't know. Whether we're calling it GIF or GIF, we're still using his technology, so you did well, sir.
Power to the peanut butter. That's all I'm saying.
Power to the graphics interface file.
I like the peanut butter better.
Because it's GIF, it's graphics, but
no, everyone knows it's graphic.
right.
Interface file. Yep.
GIF.
Yep. Yep.
Nope. Those guys used to scare me.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. I've been trying to gauge my friends. Played a little game of how funny is this this
I
week.
didn't partake in this, but yeah.
Okay. And decided to see how funny do you think it is?
Throw a flash grenade under my desk.
Walk into someone's office, silently fart, walk away and close the door with them in the office.
What's your relationship with this individual?
Better be good.
From the get-go.
Well, it was good before.
Okay, then if I'm the person into whose office you had walked, farted, and then left,
yeah.
I think, wow, that guy's an asshole.
If I walk
and I would
into
tell
your,
him,
me
I would
and you, me and you were friendly. We joke. We've worked.
Get back in here for a second.
We've worked.
Get back in here for a second.
Oh.
We need to have a talk about it.
Me
I
and
would
you have
call
worked
you back
together
into the
before.
office. We would have a talk about this. And I would fire your ass.
You're not in a position to fire me. No.
If I'm your boss?
No. But me and you have worked together before. Okay, we have been dishwashers. We have worked at online website things together. So let me ask you a question. You've had an office space that you occupied, and sometimes you were alone in that office. If I had walked at the place online, whose name I don't feel like mentioning, if I walked into your office, okay, into the customer service department,
you've done this.
I may have done this.
You've done this.
And farted and then walked out.
You laughed as you did it and left.
Because I find it funny. But did you find it funny?
No, I didn't find it funny. Like it's not anything that I would have found funny personally.
Would you consider me the worst college ever? No. Would you consider me the worst colleague ever for doing that?
Ever, yes.
So the crazy people you're always complaining about, you prefer them over someone walking into your office, farting, having a giggle, and walking out.
What crazy
I mean, 5 minutes after, you've told me stories of crazy people you've worked with in the past.
Oh, I've worked with crazy people.
So I mean, the funny guy that comes into your office and farts, that's the guy you hate, or you hate the crazy. I mean, who's really the worst colleague ever?
You.
All right, what would be worse if I came and farted in your office?
I like how he's trying. He's trying to see what would make him the worst.
What would be worse, if I farted in your office, or if I left some fecal matter on my finger after I took a dump and I wiped it under your desk?
Would you like a chocolate-covered pretzel?
Or better yet, into the material, like underneath the chair? Like where you would never really think to, or really be able to wipe it clean. It would always be a little bit of
fecal matter?
Oh, actual fecal matter, yes.
No, like it's over. That's.
I've been known to torture people with fecal matter before.
Yeah, I'm not interested in any of that.
Funny or not funny?
Yeah, I'm gonna say not funny.
What if I said I did it to someone else? What if it wasn't you?
It depends who it is.
No, someone you've never heard of. I said, I just did that to Bob in accounting. Is it funny? Are you giggling?
Bob in accounting.
Bob in accounting. Shmuel in accounting. No, I know you're laughing. How hard are you laughing?
No, it really depends. It really depends on who this person is, because to step up to that level is
all right. Now here's the
like
interesting question.
To get into bodily fluids.
As
fully functioning adults, as functional human beings, digging into our turds and.
Yeah, but if I thought it would be funny, I would do it even at work, even though I'd get fired because I've done stuff like that. But I've done ridiculously inappropriate pranks that have gotten me fired at work at jobs before. That I didn't really realize how inappropriate they were until much later on in life.
Did you know? Did you not know that
at the time that they were
smearing fecal matter is going too far?
I did not spread fecal matter, but let's just say I worked for a company once where there was this girl who was related to the president of the company, and I might have played a practical joke or two on her. Which might not have been the smartest thing for me to do in hindsight.
Well, some practical jokes are hilarious. Other ones are incredibly hilarious.
You see, we were locked away from we were locked out of the computer, out of the internet. But there was something in her computer that allowed her to. Her computer had access to her IP. Probably was allowed. So what I thought would be a funny thing would be for me to actually switch PCs with her. This was a practical joke. I actually switched computers with her. Actually, these were Sun workstations. So we didn't really have hard drives or anything on it, but the network knew who we are, from our address.
So you swap the CPU over.
Well, no, I swapped the entire boxes. Okay, from her desk area to mine. Then I had access to the computer, and I thought it was really funny and clever of me. It didn't work out much longer after that.
See, I probably would have known that's not gonna fly.
I've done worse.
I'm sure I've done worse. Yeah. What's up, man? So
Miriam, come on, you know
What's
me.
happening?
I've lived at that level. I didn't have to stoop. I woke up there.
But
Yeah, what's up? What's going on? Snow.
yeah, not too much.
How they hanging?
So all right. I'm on Facebook, idly scrolling through, and I see this video
Scrolling. Sorry.
of this kid who pours water over a lemon and uses that as some sort of justification for why the earth could not possibly be round. Because he takes a little lemon and he pours some water over it, and the water doesn't stick to the lemon.
So I guess we're talking about flat earthers, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I spent a good hour.
You into flat earth? Do you believe in flat earth?
Oh yeah.
You a big flat earther?
Oh yeah. So
Did we talk about this recently?
I think we might have spoken about it a little bit.
Didn't I say I was pro flat earth?
I think you did.
Yay, flat earth.
So it's not
the water on the lemon thing completely proves it's a
because
flat earth.
It took me about an hour to figure out who this kid was. And this is just scrolling through the YouTube comments, finding the original video. And then the original video had this weird name in the title.
What's his name, son?
No. Yeah, he is. The title for the video had this name. It was Hazel something. So I looked up this name and I found it's actually this person had made a comment in the YouTube video saying apparently the person who had posted the video was friends with her and she had commented on it as well. Maybe she was the girlfriend of the guy who posted it, and the guy who posted it, somebody else had linked to this kid's Twitter account. So finally, I was able to find out who this kid was. And
I'm sorry. Wait, say that all again.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The friend of the cousins,
best friends, neighbors,
yeah,
roommate.
exactly.
Click the like on a post. And, okay.
Yes. So I find out who this kid is, and like, it's a little bit hard to tell if he's serious or not. But at a point, you kind of realize that.
Was it your brother?
Yes. You kind of come to terms with he may not actually be serious. I actually have his Twitter account open in front of me here, and his name is Carl from Online, and here his profile description is simple man committing simple crimes. Email me death threats, and he provides his email address and his Instagram and Snapchat. I didn't click on the link or do any follow any of these other things, but this kid is just insane. Like he comes off as serious, and all of this is not to say that this kid is real or not. It's really to say
CGI.
he
doesn't look like he's CGI.
It's really to say what I found when I was looking for him in the comments here, all of the people who really actually genuinely do believe. Now, there's some people who are trolling and they say, "Oh yeah, of course," and you know, going off on other random tangents just for the sake of it. But then there are actually people who are really seriously believing what he's saying, not even thinking, like, being abstract enough to say, okay, so you're talking about water, just pouring water onto something that is in perspective, 400,000 times smaller than the Earth. I mean, you reduce anything to such a small size and it'll be much smoother than if it were. I just don't understand what the logic was. And if he was trolling, you know, kol hakavod to you, hats off. But it showed that there are people who actually believe this shit. It's really.
Well, I don't know what point he was trying to make because I didn't see the video.
Oh, we can watch it, but he's just saying that there's no way that the Earth could be round when water will just fall off of it, as though gravity is coming from beneath the Earth, not from within the Earth. And then he pulls out a plate, and see, when I pour the water on the plate, it pools up. He was talking about the flood in Houston. He was using the flood in Houston as proof that the Earth was flat with this asinine demonstration.
Try me.
All right, well, that was
It's just seeing
different.
all of the other people that follow it and really believe it. It's sad because you see these people. These people vote. You know, these people are like, you know, service providers. You know, they may be your waiter, and they just no thought process there at all. It has to be Thomas Dolby. You remember Thomas Dolby?
Sure.
Blinded me with science. He's a flat earther. He's like member number 1 in the Flat Earth Society. He was like boasting or bragging about that a while ago. That's just... He's flown.
That is the
He's
beauty.
Flown.
That is the beauty of the internet and social media.
He
Now,
would go to concerts in Japan and China, and
idiots from
maybe not
all
China,
over the world
and
can get
Japan
together and spread their
and
disbelief to each
Texas
other.
and California and Sao Paulo. He would go to concert. He would get on a plane, fly around, and he'd it hurts. There's people so stupid. It hurts. It really does. Humanity is doomed.
Pretty much, it's thanks to the internet.
We're fucking doomed.
The internet has helped these people get together and you know, bullshit each other and to believing these.
It's the Bolsheviks.
Yes, it's a bunch of Bolsheviks.
No,
Now we're gonna get letters from angry Bolsheviks.
I don't know. It's disheartening to see this.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
the world is in a bad place.
The world is in a bad place.
I happen to think we need a
Here, you know what? I'm actually going to...
one of those life-ending events.
Here, that's him. I'm posting the video for this kid. And his Twitter, if anybody cares.
Sure.
It's just funny. Like, I think he's just trolling. But it's very dry. Very, very dry. You know, at the end of the video.
No, hold on. Wait. I just want to. I don't think. Look, there were lots of these people beforehand, but the internet really helped them get their word out and convince other weak-minded idiots. That's what I think the internet did, and it helped them spread their word around and grow in numbers.
I don't know if they needed to grow in numbers. Maybe some people started to believe and some people started to disbelieve.
Most people don't realize that, you know, any idiot with $30 can go and build a website Actually, you can do it for free too, but for $30, you can buy a domain name and have it hosted and everything else, and have a real site, and you can say whatever you can call yourself news and spout whatever lies you want with no real repercussions, none whatsoever. And so they go out there and say, "Oh, the world is flat, and here's my proof. Some guy said so." And everyone says, "Oh, see, this guy knows because some guy said so."
Yeah.
Beforehand, they didn't have this ability to it was one idiot walking around town. Duh, the world's flat, and people just said, "Shut up, Bob."
Well, Bob's an idiot.
Now Bob goes online and says, "Duh, the world's flat."
Wait,
and all the other, hey, duh, you're right, it is.
Wait, is this Bob from accounting?
Yeah, Bob is an idiot. Bob from accounting is a putz.
Oh,
Good
well
with
then,
numbers,
okay,
though.
then yeah, then I'm perfectly fine with smearing
Whiz
shit on
with
his face or
numbers.
whatever it is.
Well, I wasn't saying smear shit on his face.
You did not specify.
I'm pretty sure I should take a little bit of fingerful of feces and smear it under his seat.
Under the seat or on the seat?
No. Underneath the seat, there's like that material usually, so to cover up the cardboard.
It's
and stuff.
totally deteriorating from the bottom of this chair.
Well, but most chairs.
Every week, every week I find like little panels of it.
Well, don't step in it.
It happens.
It's hard to come off your shoes. It's hard to get it off your shoes. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, they have a bigger voice now. As I said before, it was just one guy sitting on the street corner, and everyone would
everybody's so self-entitled. They need to say their word, and
there used to be the one guy standing up on the
stupid.
benches at Washington Square Park, and he would just scream and shout. Well, that guy now has the internet and can reach millions more people.
There's an unlimited supply of soapboxes now. So just set up wherever you want. Yeah. That's kind of what we did. To a degree, I mean.
Yeah, but we're not really preaching stuff.
Guys, not present.
The world is flat.
Yeah. The world is flat. Like, why even bother with that? It's like talking about zombies, Sharknadoes, snakes on a plane.
Okay, now you've got to piss me off. Zombies are fucking real. Zombies are realer than flat Earth.
What about the Hollow Earth?
Dum dum dum.
Indeed. Dum dum dum. Indeed.
Dum 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 dum.
That's
all I'm saying about that.
Earth, all of this shit is stupid. It's just, but what fucking kills me about the flat Earth, they believe that the other planets are round, since just Earth is flat.
Did you hear about the idiot that
what
shot
makes
himself?
us so special?
Did you hear about the idiot that shot himself in
the rocket?
The
or whatever it
rocket,
was?
yeah. I didn't hear his report, but I heard he got all banged up and injured.
We need to be more serious about these Darwin Awards. Like, there's. Wait, is he still able to reproduce? He's alive?
Yeah,
isn't
he's
he?
alive. Yeah, it was minor injuries when he came back to
still
Earth or whatever.
It's all about the Darwin Awards. The Darwin Awards.
I read that he was changing. That he was like changing his story. That he's now saying that they're closer to the time of his trip. He was saying that he not that he didn't believe. He wanted to prove it himself. He wanted to whatever.
He needed the light, the power.
I have to see it for myself. Even though I've seen it in pictures, I have to actually see it to prove that those pictures that I've seen are real.
I think he thought he was in the Truman Show. I think he thought he was Truman.
He was gonna hit the wall.
That is actually a disease. There is a. I came out from that movie.
Trumanitis.
I forget what it's called. Burbank syndrome or something. Truman Burbank. But it is an actual syndrome where people think that they're. Also, Ed TV. There was that movie Ed TV where he allowed a camera crew to just like follow him for a year or something. Installing this is way before reality TV, way before all this Big Brother shit. It was the 90s or something. I think a lot of these sort of maybe it was already
Big Brother
an
the
idea.
TV show or Big Brother the government is watching you?
No, I was talking about the
reality TV show.
No, the not for profit organization that delivers canned goods to homeless children. Yeah, I was talking about the TV show.
No, that's what I thought. What Big Brother that hands out canned goods to the
Yeah,
poor?
it was, I don't know. It was some maybe it was a local organization. Did you have
I know
harvesters?
Big Brothers, they take
No,
kids
it was called Big Brother. Like we would get letters, to donate, just junk mail you always used to get. But like physical junk mail when there was actually physical junk mail. Junk snail mail. And I think maybe my parents donated $5-10 once or something. I don't know. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just sent this letter to everyone. But yeah. Did that pay?
Big Brothers?
No. Sending junk mail for donations. Because do the donations, like, did they actually get to enough people that they got donations that covered the costs of sending all of those letters out?
Oh, sure. When you're sending bulk mail like that, you get it so cheaply that to send out that amount of letters is really low, and people love to send donate stuff.
I like when they would send
People
those
are very
things for like
charitable.
saving the rainforest. Just send out 100 million letters to save 12 trees.
This letter was written on paper from the rainforest that was destroyed to make
On
paper.
fine Brazilian redwood.
Help us stop the destruction of this paper that we used hundreds of thousands of pieces of to tell you to stop us to make paper. Oh, wait. Actually, they wrote everyone letters to check their email to tell them to sign up for something to help stop destroying trees for paper.
And in their email response, at the bottom it said, "This company is a green company," talking about do not print unless absolutely necessary. You know what I'm talking about? That signature, you see it on letters from places and stuff.
Was it me and you that were talking about? There was this restaurant that's only accepting reservations by postcard. You can't call them. You can't email them. You have to send them a postcard.
Pony Express, like a telegram?
No,
Telegram?
a postcard.
What kind of postcard?
Actually,
A letter or just like
actually, I
any
say a
postcard?
No,
like,
no.
greetings from Tennessee.
No. Actually, I believe it was. It had to be in an envelope, but you had to have like a note card or whatever. Had like an index card, I guess is really what they meant. I think.
Okay.
And you had to like write down when you could come. And
3x5
else.
or 5x7.
Whatever the size, the preferred size they have. But yeah, there was some restaurant out in the middle of in like Maine or something like that. And they used to get so many calls or whatever requests for reservations. They decided to hell with it. We're only gonna, you send us at the beginning of the season. You send us a postcard. We will have a drawing. We will pick out the people that are gonna, have reservations, and you get notified when your reservation is or whatever.
Is this a good restaurant?
Apparently,
like
yeah. It's
a hole in the wall.
Apparently, it's some really like nice place in the middle of nowhere.
Sounds great.
And people like to go to because it's a really good restaurant, I guess.
I remember hearing about all those haunted houses that similarly you couldn't just like go in, you couldn't just like call in. Well, I guess you could call.
Why would
but
you
need
call to a haunted house? Hello, is anyone home?
No, but you had to make a reservation and sign like
hoo.
like a medical waiver. Like you can get killed here. Like with actual danger.
I never heard about that. What, actual
I heard
killers and murderers?
I don't know. It's not active killers.
Come on, kids,
but
we're going for some Halloween
there's
fun to the local insane asylum. We've given them all knives. Go ahead.
Kind of. No, but it's
not
actually
really like
dangerous. I heard about it.
Or was it not really dangerous at all, and they were just telling you it was dangerous to make it more scary?
Why? No, I never went there. I heard about it from somebody else who probably made it up.
Oh, that.
It's like Cujo. You know Cujo?
The movie?
No, it's the statue in the river or in the lake near every camp, or some other name that was a memorial to some dead baby from some village across the lake.
I went to 2 different summer camps. We never had a.
You never had any scary camp stories?
Well, yeah, but none of them had
Very
anything to do with
generic, and
Cujo.
every camp has the same story, just with a different name and a different character, but almost the exact same story.
We had Cropsy, but who the hell's Cujo?
Who is Cropsy?
Crazy woman that killed people with an axe.
Nice. Was she from across the lake?
It wasn't really
She was.
across the lake, but there was this
Around the
little
lake? Yeah, yeah.
abandoned cabin on the lake.
Okay. Yeah, we had one of those. We had the cabin. It was on the other side of the lake, though. Cropsy. That we had it was like just over the fence, but you couldn't see it from the cabins next nearby. You could only see it from another area, which was a little bit higher, and you could oversee. Behind the trees there was some little
Hold on.
cabin, and you weren't really sure.
Miriam,
what it was.
did we have a Cropsy at camp? I don't remember. I remember Cropsy from my first camp, not from Kolang. Was there a Cropsy at Kolang also? I don't remember there being a psychopath murderer in the woods at that place. One of the cabins at the first summer camp where we had Cropsy, there was like these who the hell knows what they were? Some type of slashes, axe, whatever on the side of the building, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is what she did. She came to kill the campers and did this with her." Obviously, no campers were ever killed that I'm aware of.
We did have one of the cabins. Okay, so the camp sort of wrapped around the lake, around the southwestern edge of the lake. Well, no, it didn't go into the lake. But on one side of one of the paths going around, obviously there were the cabins that were on the lake side of the road, and there were the other ones on the other side. One of the cabins had actually fallen into the lake. So they had the grounds for a great story. But they never made one. They never made a story. These kids were in the cabin, and the cabin drifted into the lake, and the kids died. They're ghosts and spirits and swampy creatures. Nothing. They never made any.
You could make
any
a
stories
story
about
about
that.
it, put it online, and people would be able to find it when they search for that.
It was
camp.
cabin 27, 26 or 27 at Herzl.
At Herzl?
Herzl camp.
Sounds like a Jewish camp.
No, it wasn't. It was Muslim. I just picked one out of the hat, and that's the most
Suicide bomber
religion.
school. Suicide bomber camp.
Yes. See, Cropsy was at every camp. We had Cujo. We had I forget what we had at the J Bar Double C Ranch Camp.
Get out. What the fuck kind of camp? Jesus Christ.
That was the camp that I went to when I worked with horses. It was a ranch camp. Climbed Pikes Peak. It was a lot of fun. Went to the Colorado sand dunes. There's sand dunes, full-on sand dunes in Colorado. It's really cool. Yeah, I think somebody named the character after Cujo from the book. I don't remember when Cujo came out, but it was probably to capitalize off of Stephen King's book by making up a
Maybe capitalize isn't the right word, but
making a ghost story at Herzl Camp in Webster, Wisconsin.
aha! I'll make a story at Kershaw Camp, and I'll make all the money.
Yeah, that was
Step 1,
fun
frighten the
times.
kids with stories about Cujo. Step 3, make the money.
yes.
So what else is going on?
Nothing, but you may be wondering what this red bag is.
I
sitting
wasn't actually
just
wondering
before
that
us.
at all.
Have you seen these before?
A million times.
Oh, cool. Well, these are adhatsot. Adhatsot, which are
Tea biscuits with chocolate. They are tea biscuits with chocolate.
I don't think these are these tea biscuits?
Tea biscuits with chocolate.
Dipped in chocolate, just sitting in a.
It's actually exactly what it is. It's a tea biscuit.
I thought tea biscuits were something else.
They're that.
Maybe in New Jersey.
Like the Petty Bear tea
But this
biscuits.
is
Even
a
says it on the
draw
package
in,
of like tea
in,
biscuits.
in New Jersey, not a drawer.
And this is a schmuck in New Jersey. Also known as a dickhead. What? Oh.
This is like cheap food here, cheap snacks. I think. I don't know how much are these.
Oh, it's like 20 shekels.
This was 18 shekels.
There's not many in the package, so it's not cheap.
No.
Not Tim Tams expensive, but it's expensive.
Tim Tams are good. I don't think they have Tim Tams in the U.S.
I don't know. They might.
I've never seen Tim Tam in the U.S. I looked for them after I was here, but it's I don't know. It's the coffee culture is different in the U.S.
Yeah. They drink different coffee.
No, it's like I don't know of anyone, but I haven't really socialized with so many people in the U.S. outside of my family friends. But there's nobody that I really knew that you would go to their house and you would make a cup of coffee, like when you go to a Reed's house, cups of coffee constantly.
Well, let me ask you a question.
You know,
Dave.
Pessy's always making
How
a cup
old
of
are you?
coffee. I have no idea.
How old were you when you
8.
left the States? Did most of your friends have their own apartments, or did they leave at home with mom and dad?
No, a few of them, but
Or a
I would go,
dorm
but I
room,
would go
let's
to their
say.
parents' house, and their parents didn't really drink coffee in the same way. You know, they would have a cup of coffee after dinner, before
Because
dinner.
it wasn't
with
at
something.
all uncommon for someone to, invite you over, for whatever, for coffee. It's not uncommon.
Yeah, like I said, I may just not have been exposed to that, but what I did understand of the coffee culture in the
It's
U.S.
also like
was,
the old line to get a woman back to your to your apartment.
I don't drink coffee.
Hey, would you like to come back for? I've got decaf. I've got chlorophyll. 20 of them.
Yeah. Hello.
So what else are we talking about?
Well, we talked about the Earth being flat.
It's
and
not
that's kind of
flat.
funny. It's not.
Okay, we've come to the conclusion it is not flat.
I forgot to wish you a happy Weed Appreciation Day.
Weed appreciation. Yeah, man. Happy Weed Appreciation Day.
No. This is for all of the downtrodden weeds in our gardens that we don't want to be there. We're stepping on them. We're plucking them. We're pulling them out. This is a day of appreciation for them. I mean, I don't know.
A day to appreciate all the things that people pick up, spend their weekends picking out of the ground and throwing in the garbage.
that you don't want in your garden.
And we are
exactly.
supposed to spend a day now to appreciate that.
Exactly. I don't know.
When is Dirty Diaper Appreciation Day?
That's not a. That's
What?
not.
Because people throw them in the garbage, throw 'em, so, I mean,
Yeah.
empty towel.
All
Empty
right, you know what?
Empty paper towel. Cylinder appreciation day.
You know what? If you don't like that, it's something on a stick day also.
Well, I like something on a stick day.
Pizza on a stick?
Pretty much almost anything on a stick.
Pizza on a stick.
Things on a stick are good.
Pizza in a cone. I can get behind that. Did you ever have
Fuck
feely?
the cone. It's got to be in a stick.
Did you ever have feely?
I had a camp counselor that was a bit feely.
Back to camp. It really hit a.
No, kidding. No, what the hell is feely?
Feely was feely. I think it was. Following the what did the cup say to the spoon?
It wasn't there. You didn't see a thing.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Funniest joke in the world. Same principle. This is an Israeli joke confusing cup with cup with cop, because they're pronounced the same way. Just like many other things. Anyway,
I had forgotten about that.
Feely. Well, it was a filled. Basically, it was like this modified punch press. Okay, it had a piston that would push into this cup. They would put a ball of dough in there, and it was heated. The cup was heated, and the piston was heated. So as it would push in, it would form a cup shape out of the dough, and then it would fill the cup with like pizza stuff. So it's kind of in a cone, but it was flat bottomed. So I think feely
it had like
was
cheese
supposed
and
to be
sauce and stuff. It was almost like a
Philly.
pocket. So it was almost like a pocket pita, like a pocket pizza.
Kind of, but with a flat bottom.
Right, and probably open.
And
at the
it
top,
was
so you can eat
pizza.
it with
It was pizza dough. It was the same composition
I got you.
because it bakes well. And it was
Sure.
amazing because, like, if you get it in the winter, it was where this Mapau place is. It's this Indian place on the corner down here. Because it was baked, didn't have a chance to cool, and then meanwhile whether it's sautéing or stir frying or whatever they're making for the filling, which I would always get like meatball, cheese and meatballs. But they also had like stir fry and other things like that. So while they were making that, they throw it into the cup. The cup is already hot. The food is hot. The food the food is taken directly from the skillet into this, and it doesn't matter how slowly you eat this thing. It is boiling hot constantly, unbelievably hot. But they shut down, and I don't know. Probably because they didn't market themselves for shit. Nobody had any idea who they were, what they
Maybe
did.
because people don't like eating boiling hot food and scalding themselves.
No, you could eat it properly, and you know. But if you try and scoop from the bottom, you can't. You just eat from the top.
From the bottom, when it all like leaks.
No,
out?
if you ate, like, you stick the fork and you dig from the bottom.
I see what you're saying.
Um,
I'm like,
but,
if you stuck your fork through the bottom, it's like biting off the bottom of the cone and your ice cream first, and then it all just drips out the fucking bottom. Every stupid kid does that. You always see stupid kids doing that.
Yes. I do.
But kids are stupid.
Kids are stupid.
Why is there a pointer on the nose of my bridge of my nose? The nose of my bridge.
Like a nose of a bridge waters.
Move that away from me.
But yeah, so something on a stick day.
Yay!
Well, what I mean, beyond corn dogs, popsicles, what is there really on a stick?
Tie?
Candied apple, huh?
Tie?
Ties.
Tie stick.
Ties. Yeah. I was watching that today.
What's it?
Yesterday and
Cotton
today.
candy. It's on a stick. You can get a stick.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes it is a stick. Sometimes it's that cone.
Sure.
That paper cone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here let's have a go see for ourselves. Well, I mean, we are glad that today is something on a stick day and not something on a shingle day, right? I think that was a punchline to some other joke.
That was a bad joke. That was a bad joke written there, and it was a bad joke when you told it. Stop stealing. If you're gonna steal jokes, make them better than that.
But yeah, so something on a stick day, or Weed Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
But according to
There's
the
no
definition
list
here,
of things on a stick.
well, no, but there is a definition here of a weed, and a weed here is
There's no definition
any
of things on a
plant
stick.
that is not in a place where you want it to be. Even edible, medicinal, herbal plants, and even flowers are considered weeds to those who don't want them where they pop up. So,
Fascinating.
that could be an absolutely lovely flower that you just didn't want growing where that lovely flower is growing.
Wow.
Technically
So
makes it a weed.
So if it's in your garden growing and you don't want it there, it's a weed. I did not know that. Wow. That is amazing stuff.
Even if it's a proper, I guess, you have a child who is growing older in your...
So if you take a handful of baby teeth and you plant them in the ground and a child starts to grow, but you decide you want that child over there, it's now a weed?
But wait, if you plant a bunch of baby teeth, are a bunch of babies going to grow, or is it just going to grow one baby?
I'm not sure.
And would you, like, if you were missing one of its teeth?
Oh, it's going to be fucked up then. It's like Pet Cemetery type shit at that point.
Like pieces of its brain are just like not there.
It's like a whole child will come, but it'll only have part of a soul.
It's
and
like
it
the
will be
mummy
evil.
before he's eaten enough souls to regain full skin, where he has like the hole outside of the side of his face.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I saw this stand up with him
No, you didn't.
from like the 80s, Arnold Vosloo, from like the 80s, and it was just the most awkward thing. And then he was the mummy. I just don't understand how that path happened. But here I'm looking. So what comes on a stick? Practically anything. The first thing that comes to mind is popsicles and fudgesicles. Okay. Hot dogs are popular on a stick at campfires. Okay. There are corn dogs, which are hot dogs, but designed to be on the stick. Shrimp and many Chinese treats. That's right. I'm sure you've seen pictures of like scorpions on a stick.
Oh, sure,
Like
in China or something.
Yeah,
And,
or like,
oh, yeah.
like 12 crickets on
Lots
a stick.
of bugs on sticks over there.
So yeah, we didn't really think of that.
That's true.
Cocktail
We were thinking about stuff that we would want to eat.
We were
but yeah,
thinking about reasonable, rational,
think about,
logical, and
Cannibal
okay
Country.
things.
They have people on sticks
That's true.
hanging in their windows.
That's
in their butcher
true.
shops.
That's true. At the ride at Disneyland, where they have the shrunken heads on the stick.
In the Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
ride, or-
No, it's not in Pirates of the Caribbean. This is else. I think it's in the same world. There's like
It's a small
Tomorrowland,
world.
and there's the. I think it's in the same area, but not in that ride.
Okay, there's some shrunken heads, and what do?
They just sit there because they're probably like rubber. Maybe they're real. Who knows? They're probably real.
What was the point of bringing them up?
They're on a stick.
Ah, I see.
What else was there here? Cheese. Cocktail wieners and cheese are picked up. And
I don't
eaten
consider. I'm
on a
sorry, I
stick.
don't consider these. Those are
The
toothpicks.
shish kebabs.
Toothpick is not a stick.
Shish kebab. No, it's not. I agree with you. Shish kebabs, though, that's a stick. That's a skewer.
That's
A skewer's a stick.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's a stick.
Yep.
All right.
As
Click here for a more full list of things on a stick.
don't bother. I'm not going to put a button there.
I was kidding.
You can. I'm just going to get. You know,
Put
it's
a button there,
I'm
but like it's
I'm
like
just going to
corn
keep
or
reading
something.
what we have for something on a stick day, because I can't read it and then say it. That's just going.
It's 6 lines. You've
You-
been reading it for 5 minutes. I don't see what else.
Well,
is
no,
on.
I read one line over the course of a few minutes. Now you can also get just about anything on a stick when receiving food samples at a store festival. But again, these are Q-tips. Fuck you.
They're not Q-tips. They're toothpicks.
Toothpicks. Q-tips, toothpicks. Same difference. Used Q-tips, toothpicks. Same thing.
Yeah, they're perfectly interchangeable. It's okay to take a little thing with a fuzzy thing in the middle and shove it into a piece of chicken or some cheese and pick it up, you know, and then you can take the really pointy ones and put them in your ears.
Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding.
Sure, now we're gonna get angry letters from Dinks.
They brought it upon themselves. One of them was Tony Cox. This guy.
Dink is a racial slur, James.
Against who? Smurfs?
Vietnamese?
You know Smurf? In Hebrew, the word for Smurfs is Dardasim, which is not a racial slur, but it is a slur against people with dwarfism.
Blue assholes or something. Oh.
No, it's like a really bad term. But and apparently it is was in English as well. Smurf. It was a very bad slur.
Was it a bad slur, and then they came out with a kids show for it, or they came out with a kids show, and then people started associating?
No, it was a slur back in the 30s.
Really?
Yeah. And then they.
Which came out first, the 30s or this?
They took it back.
We're taking it back.
With the television program. The Smurfs. So anyway, I know it's 10:20 here where we are. It's not 10:20 in the evening where you are. So celebrate this fun day
here?
By serving food. Well, if they are they.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Yeah,
I think Sion is still here, and
I don't know.
I don't think that makes the difference.
I don't know. I don't think anything means anything. But anyway,
hold on. Wait, go back to the thing.
Do your best.
Sion, are you still listening?
Do your best to celebrate this fun day by serving food for meals and snacks on a stick. The kids will love it. So will you. Because there's an exclamation point there. So.
Yeah, so that was fascinating.
Anyway.
All right, what now, Brainiac?
Yeah. I was reading our comments since we had left to read about something on a stick day. That's all I have for this evening. What more do you have to share with us?
What would justify me leaving something on someone's chair? I mean, anything. I don't need justification.
I think this was poo. We're talking about poos.
You ever poo on someone?
Probably. You
ever throw poo at someone? You ever use poo as a weapon?
I'm sure you have pooed on somebody and didn't know it also.
What, like at the porta potty and someone was inside?
That's where your mind goes.
I saw that on a TV show or something. There was someone hiding in the.
I was talking about when you were an infant.
Oh, I definitely shit in my doctor's hands. I remember him telling me this story.
Wow, I like where that went for you.
You don't know. I guess you don't know what movie or TV. I have no idea what it was. There was some TV show, and there was someone hiding in the porta potty.
I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. It's actually from a few things. It was in Schindler's List as well. No, not Schindler's List. What was the one with Bruce Willis? Do you know what I'm talking about? There was a movie where he was
in a concentration camp.
He was like a general or yeah. Something as Heart's War? Was that? I remember seeing it at the.
You can just ask Miriam. It's much quicker.
That's true. I remember seeing it at the Red Bridge Theaters Blue Ridge, Red Bridge. I always confuse Red Bridge and Blue Ridge in Kansas City. It was these two areas that were not the same thing. Look who's talking. No. Where was this? I don't know if I'm going to find this movie. And it wasn't in the 2000s. Was it Hearts War? Yeah. Yeah, it was Hearts War. There was a scene with some kids in the port of Potty. That's what it was named after, right? The port of Potty. Anyway.
Sure.
It was actually not a bad movie. That's all I have to say about that.
So, Passover's coming up. You doing anything special?
I don't know. Nothing planned yet.
You've got a Seder to go to?
I haven't really looked.
You know, Keep Olim in Israel has a program that if you're looking for a place to go for a Seder, you can register with them, and they'll find a house to that you can Seder at. There's also, I believe, some public Seders in Tel Aviv.
I want to say there's a Seder at Mike's place. So I'm going to say there's a Seder at Mike's place. That may not be true.
I find that hard to picture.
I put myself into that. I said, I want to say, so I said it, and who knows?
Sure, it's a Seder. It's 100% kosher, except for the bacon and bread that'll be on the table. They'll be serving bacon, egg, and cheese burritos for.
I learned about kitnyiot. I learned all about kitnyiot.
Really?
Yes, I was actually going to show that to you because I edited our last video to include an explanation about kitnyiot, and it's basically kitnyiot is legumes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the translation. However, sometimes during Pesach, it refers to other things.
Mm-hmm.
And those are kitnyiot.
Basically, anything that was foreign. Okay.
No.
To where
it didn't necessarily have to do with foreign.
No, it's not that it was foreign. It's just you guys didn't. It wasn't a staple food. This wasn't something you normally had. This would have been something that came over from another land, and the rabbis didn't know what to classify it, whether or not it could be kosher for Pesach. It was automatically considered to be that thing, kitnyiot.
So. The reason why they are not allowed is difficult to know, but kitnyiot, it takes on a broader meaning to include grains, seeds such as rice, corn, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, soybeans, peas, and lentils.
But some Jews eat those things.
Right, and the reason why some do is because of the way things were stored. Yeah. Because things were stored in close proximity, and the meticulousness and the exactitude of the law says that under no circumstances you can't even have this stuff in your home. Not you can't eat it; it can't even be in your home. Now these other things were stored in the same places, so they were, and it doesn't really make sense. I know.
It was explained
that
to me is that
face
corn.
was my face.
Now remember something: corn wasn't native to all countries back then. It's not like today where these things have gotten around, and corn was only native to some countries. So Jews from lands that didn't have corn, it was just when they did finally come around to them, when they did see
This
it for the
includes
first
lentils,
thing,
which
and they said,
did
"Can
come
I
from
have
here."
this?" And the rabbi says, "No, you can't have that. It's considered kitnyiot." In countries where you can have kitnyiot, these things were native, and they had these at a time when the rabbi, it's a vegetable, you can't make something that can and they knew what it was. It wasn't a foreign, strange product.
Well, basically, the law right
That's
now.
the way it was explained to me.
And that's to a degree, that's basically what it is. But the reason why you can't have them is because they were stored with all these other things, and they could also become covered in whatever other things you weren't allowed to have, yeast or whatever, leavening. But what makes this really ridiculous is it just follows the same rule or the same interpretation and the same evolution of the rule as kashrut with chicken, mixing chicken and milk.
It's perfectly okay to mix chicken with milk.
It is.
I know.
Because chickens don't give milk. And we know that a chicken is a chicken because it's produced and it's certified. We understand. We know what the
technically,
what the
even
meat
if it
actually
did
is.
produce milk, it's still okay to do. The law is very specific about what you can't do.
It is. But the Sanhedrin made the adjustment to say they made an amendment onto the rule, onto the constitution that was provided by God, to not allow chicken and milk either. That was the Sanhedrin's decision when they were rewriting the laws to accommodate for the lack
There's
of
actually a
temple.
reason for that. There's a Yiddish expression for like
Better safe than sorry.
No. What it was that one of your neighbors shouldn't pass your house, see you grilling something while eating some cheese or some milk or whatever, okay, and therefore think that you are breaking the kashrut law by cooking meat and milk. Okay. Yes, there was a whole thing.
Wow.
You were
I've never
not
heard
like
that.
non-dairy creamers and things weren't allowed on your table because someone might think it's regular creamer.
You mean people were triggered?
There's a whole there's a whole Yiddish expression, and I don't speak Yiddish, but I remember my parents talking about it and everything else. There was a whole thing. Someone should not be able to even have the impression that you are breaking the laws. Therefore, we don't eat chicken with milk because someone might not know that you're cooking chicken and not meat, and see you eating it and think you are breaking the law.
Oh, noes.
Some nosy motherfucker peeping in your window shouldn't even think incorrectly that you are breaking the law.
Well,
That's how large that stick in their butt is about this shit.
it's a big one. Well, we've talked your ears off for an hour and 7 minutes.
Really?
We have.
Well, I hope you found tonight's show interesting. Yeah.
Who is Tom?
From Facebook?
Peeping Tom.
Local pervert. Likes to look in people's windows.
What a shame that from then on, he is the figurehead of peepers.
Well, how do you think it would be? How do you think Will feels?
Which will?
Fire at will.
He's dead.
Motherfuckers running
He's
through
dead
life
a
going,
long time
shit!
ago. We had a friend named Will at camp.
Do you have guns at camp?
So this was at Boy Scout camp, and he was in my archery course. So they were saying fire at will.
Did anyone ever shoot him?
No,
Pussies.
I could have just said yes.
Yeah, but I would have known you were lying. If I said yes, you'd probably believe it.
Anyway,
We threw it. We I don't remember what the game was. but we
It's
were
called
throwing,
Fire at Will.
no, we were throwing darts at each other one year at camp. We were sitting in our cabin. I don't remember. And
It's called dart throwing.
someone got hit. Someone got hit like
It's called
their like
head
Achilles heel with a dart, and it went in like the dart went in like about an inch into their foot.
I have seen this. Wait, were we together?
No. This was at summer camp. I remember. We were throwing.
I've seen this.
We were one side of the cabin, and the way the cabins were, you could throw it from one side to the other side of the cabin. There was like a little doorway between the sides. And I remember we were throwing for something on the wall and missed, and it went over to the other side of the cabin. Maybe we weren't throwing them at each other, but I don't remember. I remember jumping out of the way. I remember the darts being thrown back and forth and people jumping out of the way, and one guy got hit with a dart. When kid.
We did have a dartboard at my boarding school, and somebody threw a dart and it fell into my friend's head, and it just kind of like dangled there, like it was stuck in, and it wasn't bleeding, but we just like pulled it out.
Oh,
and,
no, this went in like an inch into.
Oh no,
meat.
it was stuck well in, but there isn't so much free flowing blood like to the same degree. It's not just like, didn't really gush out. There wasn't such pressure. There was like a little bead of blood, but it went in like it would have hit the skull. It would have gone through the skull, but did not.
Well, I agree. That brings up another point. It's like I know that there are small areas.
This is a point we should discuss
New York.
next week.
Well, no, we got a couple minutes. I know that there are some areas in very religious areas in New York where they block off the streets on Shabbos, so you can't drive down. You can't drive past their house.
In B'nai B'rak, they
and I was going to say here they do it. Not just B'nai B'rak. There's lots of neighborhoods in this country, religious neighborhoods, that do that. And, I think for the same reason, that's bullshit, okay? My religiousness is between me and God, okay? It makes no difference. It does not rank my sanctity, my piety-ness or whatever, okay? If someone drives past my fucking house, there are people in this country that aren't religious. There are other religions in this country. My fucking tax dollars, my tax shekels, went to pay for these fucking streets. Who the fuck are they? What difference does it make to them if I drive past their fucking houses on a Saturday? They don't fucking help out in the army. They don't do shit.
Do anything, no.
They take fucking welfare money from us. They have 18 fucking kids each, and each child gets fucking welfare money. They refuse to do any type of public service. I truly, truly wish that we had enough listeners right now that I could say, let's go and... Last Thursday night, there was a big 3-hour protest. The Haredim blocked off Road 4. Okay, which is a major road in Israel. Everything got backed up. It took me 2 hours to get from North Tel Aviv to Rishon, to my home. Okay, because 4 was completely closed for over 3 hours. Therefore, everyone was avoiding it and coming down to the Ayalon and 2. And it was just completely fucking backed up and crazy.
Sounds like fun.
Okay, because we want to force them to go to the army. Okay, because of the army rules. That they have to be treated like everyone else and go to the army.
Why should they be?
Or, at the very least, they have to remember to go to this place and fill out a fucking form before they're of draft age. But some of them feel like they don't have to do that and that there should be no consequences for them or whatever. We should just shut up and give them money so that they can sit there and read the Torah all day.
What is their argument? They're praying for us?
Sure. They're giving us thoughts and prayers.
Whenever you hear
thoughts and prayers, whenever something bad happens and people go thoughts and prayers, these are the assholes that are giving you your thoughts and prayers. So, fuck these assholes. I truly want to go. I want to start a protest where from fucking sundown to sunup on Shabbos, we just fucking drive cars and blast music around their neighborhoods because I fucking hate them that much.
It's like when I was driving through. When I was driving to the. We went to the haunted houses. In Kansas City years ago.
Sure.
And they were playing country outside.
Well, that would be scary.
The 61 Country had a booth set up outside. Well, I didn't agree with that, so we were in my friend's car, and he had a really nice stereo system, so he put in Rob Zombie and blasted over them. We parked like right in front and blasted over them. That was a lot of fun. Just a bit, but yeah, no, it's they don't have a leg to stand on. But we can talk about this more.
They do, because in some aspects, they do control a lot of this country.
They do.
They're fucking 3rd century BC fucking assholes, mentalities with a large portion of the power in the country. Governments fucking bend down to get them in their coalitions, so that they can create a government.
Bend down to get them in their coalitions.
Hey, get that away from my coalition.
Coalitions.
You said Colin.
I thought nothing of the sort.
His name was Colin Powell.
He pissed me off. He pissed me off.
Really?
Yeah.
He would have made a great president.
I forget what he was doing near the end, but he turned on Israel. Turned on. He grew up fucking in the Jewish neighborhood. He speaks Yiddish. Is he still alive?
Lots of blacks grew up in Jewish neighborhoods, and they
didn't get along.
He
wore a Magen David. Not a Magen David, a Chai or something. He wore something around his neck. And he turned on.
A black man wearing jewelry?
Jewish jewelry.
It's still just bling. Probably stole it from somewhere. Probably mugged a Jewish kid and said, "Hey, I'm gonna keep."
Now the hate mail is going to come in. All right, let's end this for tonight. But we can talk more next week about Haredim military and all that stuff.
Sure.
That is, we can talk about that. He's still alive. Damn it.
All right, so we'll see you next week.
So
same bat time, same bat channel.
No. Batman.
That's how they ended the Batman TV show. Same bat time.
Y'all come back now.
Same bat. I don't think they did that on Batman.
No, they did it on this show when we just did that. Those two guys.
Well, they didn't do it. You did.
Those two Jews in the media. I saw them right there. That guy, that asshole, and that asshole.
That guy did not do it. That one did. How was that backwards? That guy did it, not that one.
Right.
I'm pointing right at him, but it's the wrong one. How's that working?
Yeah. Mind blown.
Me and him. See, it's the same thing.
If you point directly at the camera, then you would be pointing at yourself. Does that make sense?
Don't point at me. That guy's giving me the finger, James.
Bye.
Hey, don't forget to spay and neuter your friends. All right, see you guys next week.
Say like, share, subscribe.
Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe. Come on, really, seriously, help us out.
Don't pirate our material though.
Help us out. I went to Facebook things and we had like 4 listeners or 4 subscribers. Come on, we know people are listening. We know you're checking us out on Facebook and everything, but please just click the link. Go over to Facebook, to YouTube. Click the stupid thing. We need 100 people to subscribe to us before we can have a channel with our own name on it. Before we can be Jews,
That's right. I was wondering
YouTube
what we
/ Facebook Jews in the media. So come on, please help us out. Ask them your friends. It means nothing. Okay, it means you're gonna get. It
means nothing to us either.
It means that you're gonna get a little, that our stupid show is gonna show up once a week in your YouTube feed. So please, come on, ask some of your friends, coworkers, slaves, whatever, to please follow us and subscribe on YouTube. It would really, really help us out.
Helps.
What do you finger your? Oh, I just saw finger. I don't see so good.
Shitting on kids in the porta potty.
Who's shitting on kids in porta potties?
I don't know.
Why would? I mean, I guess it'd be funny. Hey kids, go in the porta potty.
It's blue.
You needed the
It's blue water. It tastes great.
All right, but seriously,
We've said it.
Give us some shares, give us some likes, and pass the word around.
Yeah.
Tell your friends you got to listen to these two idiots. They're really stupid and funny.
Stupid.
And
bye, guys.
Peace.